Hello and welcome again to the Crossroad Conversations on the Be Happier podcast. And you have John Milan and Coach Kea over here. And today we are going to talk about something really juicy. It's the art of feeling heard in relationships, both a man's point of view, a woman's point of view, and its point of view, all points of view. How do you start feeling heard in a relationship? And yes, there's a science to it, but there's an art to it. And we will delve deep into this art. So, John, get us started.
All right. So let's start from my perspective as a man and talk about how to solve this problem. So here's the real problem from a man's standpoint, right? So woman comes to me, says, I have this problem. They start talking about it. And as soon as she starts talking about it, by nature, I'm going to solve that problem for her. That's why she came to me. So I'm going to say, well, why don't you just do this? And it's like she's not listening. It's like she's not hearing me. It's like, but I know that's not the point. The point is she wants to share, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, she's not being heard by me because my gears are going. I want to solve this problem for, my significant other. I want to solve the problem because I care from a man's standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not being heard by me and I'm not being heard by her by nature. None of us are doing anything wrong. It's like she wants this and I want to help her do this. She don't want what I want and I don't want what she wants. It's kind of comical. So how do we solve this conundrum? Well, from my standpoint, it's me listening to her, not hearing her.
Mm-hmm.
If I listen, I know she's sharing something with me. Not once did she say, how do I fix this? So I was not listening. I was just hearing. So as a man, if I'm going to, in a relationship, if I'm going to make sure my wife feels heard or my significant other feels heard, then I need to take the standpoint where I'm going to listen. As a guy,
Mm-hmm.
I may want to solve the problem, but if she doesn't specifically ask me, what am I supposed to do? Then I'm not going to solve the problem. Now,
Mm-hmm.
again, this is we've talked it seems like every time we get together and do this, that the concept of being mindful comes up,
Yep.
right? At a subconscious level, I'm not going to be aware of what she wants. I'm going to solve it because I'm making the assumption, well, she's coming to me because she's got a problem she wants me to solve. That happens at a subconscious level, right? But if I'm living mindfully and
Mm-hmm.
I know what my significant other wants, she's talking to me, I realize that she's talking to me, so I'm going to listen. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
offer a solution because I'm being aware of what she's saying to me. And unless she specifically says to me, what do I do about this? I'm not going to give her advice because she didn't ask me for advice. That's how I have learned to make sure that she is heard by me and she feels heard.
That would solve
That
the
was good,
entire
man.
world's that
I
will
think we're
solve the
done.
entire problems. Entire
We are
world's
done.
problem will go away if we just do that. Just
Shoot, that was so good. We can quit now.
we can quit now. But now we have to see it from the other point of view too, because men also want to be heard,
Hmm.
right? And you're not listening to me. And what are the wounds that come up? You don't care. You're just like the other person I knew. And that person wouldn't listen because that's the comparing and the gnome within you, comes out. So like we are constantly comparing and contrasting.
Hmm.
And instead of listening, because they just want to share. And when they are sharing their story at the end of the day or whenever they meet you, They just want to feel heard, like someone cares. Because at the bottom of this is, I want to know that you care.
How
And
many
that person
times
walks.
have you how many times have you shared something with somebody and they've been on their phone?
Mhm. Nowadays, it's like almost all the time, right?
You're talking to them and they're on their phone and
Hmm.
you're saying, "Can you please put that down and listen?" I am listening. Just go ahead, keep talking. But they're not listening, they're hearing.
Yeah, it's a sound in the background. Hmm.
Hmm. That is a big difference. So that brings up a question I have that popped
Okay.
in my mind. So in this world where, in our society today, it's always me, 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 right? Everybody wants this, everybody wants that. Um, I think I might be safe to say this. Um, just going out there and living life, by nature, we are not, because of society today. I don't want to say by nature as human beings, but because of the way
Hmm.
our society is today, I don't think people are really listening to us on an individual basis. So I think a lot of people out there, in fact, I'd even say the majority of people out there don't feel heard.
Hmm.
So what are they supposed to do if people don't feel heard and society is not geared towards everybody's going to be there and listen to you? How do we get people to feel heard without going to drastic measures like um, going crazy and starting fights or doing all this um, standing in the roadway with signs as no one's listening to me, stealing stuff, causing problems so people are looking at me. How do we teach people to feel heard when no one wants to listen?
Well, there are quite a few things I take my clients through, because all we are seeking is external validation. There's a child within us that wants to be heard.
Okay.
Mom is not here, dad is not here. Somebody listen to me. In fact, the extreme cases of getting attention is cutting. You cut yourself. I used to do that too. Yeah. Suicide or faking suicide or accidents. Everything is attention. I get attention and I feel validated, like my existence matters.
Hmm.
22 years ago, I had heard that the attention span for a person is 90 minutes. And in the beginning of 2020, I heard it was 3 seconds. And now we know it's less than 3 seconds because people are sitting with a cell phone and they're constantly scrolling. You have to get their attention in a fraction of a second. And if you don't do that, you lost them, right? Both of us are on social media. We know that's what we need to do. So, how do you, if you are out there and you want someone's attention and you are doing this jumping jacks and you're doing all these crazy things, people will be like, what is it? What do you want? Okay, just tell me, what do you want? And you're like, no, I want to be heard. So, a few things that we can start doing is wake up in the morning and talk to the girl or the boy in the mirror. That famous song, I'm talking to the man in the mirror and asking him to change his ways. It's all about that. You wake up and you look into the mirror. Like, I wear glasses, but in the morning when I wake up, I don't go to sleep with my glasses. So I remove, so my glasses are not on, but I don't even turn on the light. I look into the mirror and I look into my eyes and I talk to myself and I say my name and I say, Kea, I love you. I'm here for you. I see you. You're beautiful. You're enough. And when you're talking to yourself and you're speaking to yourself very slowly and you get into this habit, and right now, as I'm doing this, I'm even gently rocking myself because that's what the kid, the infant in you wants, is to be held and rocked. And you do this for yourself for 60 seconds, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. That's plenty. Guess what happened? Because when you wake up from your sleep, you're not in your conscious mind. You're not thinking and logical and deciding and what to do. No, no, no. You're still in that state, that the theta state, actually. And you get into that state where the child within you feels seen, feels heard, feels held, feels accepted, feels loved, and knows that she or he is enough. So it's called the mirror exercise. You can do this. That's one. And when you do this for yourself, first of all, you won't go out crazy needy, wanting someone else to validate you, but you will go out like already feeling validated. And whenever you show up, wherever you show up, and when you open your mouth, because you are exuding that energy, people will turn around, and even if they have a phone in the hand, say, "Were you saying something?" And you may just say yes, and they'll put the phone down and say, "What is it?" They will do this to you because you are sending out that energy. Or you could be kind enough and say, when they say, "Were you saying something?" So it's, yeah, but when you're done with whatever you are doing, I have something to say. And you can sit over there, you can say, "I can be in the other room, or I can just be here, and let me know when you're done. And I would love to share something with you." Not, "I have something to say," or "I have something to tell you." There's a difference. Say, "I have something to share with you." And suddenly it's like inclusive.
This brings up a question for me based on what you just said. I think I might know the answer, but I'd like you to share it. So, in order for us as individuals to feel heard, first of all, we've got to stop seeking our validation from out there in the community.
Mhm.
If we want to be heard by people, we've got to first be heard by ourselves or accept ourselves. And when we do that, then we're going to take our time and try to connect with somebody to make the connection we want instead of going, see me, I got something to say to you. I got something to say to you, see me.
Mhm.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is one way. And this takes practice, and not everyone may start doing it right away, but you can get started. This is a great way. Mirror exercise. Second thing is, what are your interests? If you like hiking, you like yoga, you like singing, you like cooking, whatever it is you like salsa, you like meditation, whatever it is you like, find people in your neighborhood, not on Zoom. You can do Zoom, but definitely find people in your neighborhood who share the common interests as you do. Because we are social creatures. We love to be touched. We love to hug. We love to feel. And I'm not asking you to go and like grab people, but find people like you have a motorcycle and you love to ride the motorcycle. Find people in your neighborhood. And there's meetup.com where you can find people in your neighborhood with common interests. You like to watch movies, you like to read books, you like to journal, whatever it is you like. Find people with common interests. Even if you find one person, the two of you can start sharing your common interest in a local neighborhood. Even if you have to sit 6 feet apart, God forbid we never have that, but you can still be in that place and you can share your common interests. And you
Mhm.
might be talking about cooking, and suddenly you'll start talking about dancing, and you will talk about singing, and whatever it is, meditation, yoga. You need to find people with common interests and not put all the pressure of your entire life on this one person you said "I do" to. Find people with common interest, and you can be part of so many sanghas. In Sanskrit, the word is sangha. In Buddhism, also, we have sangha. So basically, a community where you share a common interest, and there everybody will want to share what they have to share, and they will also want to learn from you. Because remember, it's not about giving, it's not about receiving, it's about sharing. So that is the number two thing. Find people with common interests.
I love that. It's a lost art, very much of a lost art.
of
So that's
connecting.
cool. When we do that, we're able to then make the decision on really allow other people to be heard.
Yes.
So that when other people are talking to us, they feel heard. Because without that, I'm getting this from what you're saying, you got two people and they both
Mhm,
want to feel heard, and they're looking at each other screaming, listen to me, hey, listen to me, listen to me. Nobody's listening to anybody.
mhm.
But if I find that validation in myself like I'm supposed to, then I can go out into the world and I can make sure that people feel heard when they're talking to me.
And it goes down to law of attraction, because whatever you send out into the world, you will receive multiple fold exponentially, because you are taking the time to listen to someone. You will find someone who will listen to you, who will hear you, and you will feel like, oh, they get me. That's the biggest thing. They get me. I get them. That's the connection. It's law of attraction, and it's a communication strategy. And when you start meeting people, you can listen for these words, these predicates. In NLP, we call them predicates. If somebody is visual, they use words like, I'm looking for, because I'm part of Toastmasters and I got on this and I corrected myself. And of course, I have to practice it to get there, to master that. But I had a job assigned and I said, I'm going to look for this. So I was corrected in the end and said, at Toastmasters, we don't look for them, we listen for them. But as a visual person, I said, I'm going to look for certain words. So when you hear someone use predicates like look, see, you know they are visual. Start using those words. What do you see? And there are people who are auditory. They will use words like hear, listen. So use those words, those predicates. What do you hear? Tell me what you just heard. Don't tell me what you just saw. And an auditory person will be like, I don't know what I just saw. And then there are kinesthetic people who are into feelings, and ask them, tell me, what do you feel? And as a real estate broker, as a realtor, when you take a person in, you are trained with these three predicates, because when you are showing them something, you you know, and you are using auditory words, they're like, I don't know what I'm hearing over here. Like one of the things, Tiger Woods, I think so, it was his first Grand Slam or whatever it is in golf they win.
Mhm.
And he was asked, how does it feel? And he says, I love the delicious taste of success. And he went into the taste. So that you can tell his gustatory. He needs to put things into his mouth. His Thai mom must be cooking him Thai meats and feeding him some. So he when he said that word, I was like, this guy is dominantly gustatory. Because success, do you see it? Do you hear it? Do you feel it? Do you taste it? Do you smell it? But this takes practice. It's this communication is not about just talking, it's about listening too. And you have to listen to what the person is saying, and you can speak to them in their language. And when you do that, that person feels that you get them. And the moment they have this breakthrough that you get them, they get you.
And that's where the money comes, my entrepreneur friends.
Mm-hmm.
You are one badass spiritual coach. You know that?
I am. And you are a badass executive life coach. We don't stop. And this is what I tell people is, I have fewer years to live than I have already lived. I don't have time to shortchange anyone or myself. I'm going to give it to you, take it and run with it and go live the life you were born to live.
Nice. Very nice.
So I have a question for you, John.
Yes.
In a relationship, and it's not just about intimate relationship, it could be any relationship, client therapist, client coach, parent child, siblings, partners, whoever.
Mhm.
From your years of wisdom and experience, what do you feel is the reason people don't feel heard?
Because I honestly think because everybody is seeking validation from others. Everybody want, look at social media as an example. Everybody wants everybody to follow me. They're that's how they validate themselves. Yeah, I have a lot of followers, or oh, this person isn't following me anymore. It's like, seriously? They're looking for other people to give them validation.
Yes.
And because of that, they their validation comes and goes one day to the next, and so they never feel validated completely, because since it's coming from the outside. If it comes one day, it's the next day it's not there. It's got to come constantly, instead of
Mm-hmm.
instead of finding that, like you shared, finding that within. And
Mm-hmm.
then they know they're heard, because someone doesn't have to tell them they're heard. They've got that peace within, because they're validated within themselves.
Yes. So one of the
Everybody's running. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead. Everybody's running. Finish the
everybody's
sentence.
running everybody's running blind, because everybody
Ooh.
wants everybody else to say, I'm a good person, hear me,
Mm,
listen to me,
mm.
tell me I'm a good person. And no one's saying that to you, because they're saying the same thing back to you. No, you tell me first. No, you tell me. You tell me first. So nobody's listening. So nobody feels heard.
So what I am hearing is we are needy. We are
Yes.
needy people. We have extreme needs, and even we can't meet our own needs. So we are like, there's too many hungry sharks in one shark tank. Everybody wants like me. It's quite infantile. It's quite infantile. And through the practice of mindfulness, you grow, you evolve, and you can be in a state of like caring, like, no, I don't need that. And a simple thing that people can start doing is journaling.
Hmm.
Write down what you need.
You said it earlier when you said, oh my gosh, I almost forgot this. It just came. This was so brilliant what you said earlier. Oh, come on, John. This is just incredible. I got to remember this again. Oh, go ahead. Keep going. I just lost it, but it was incredible. And you said it.
Okay, we will go back, rewind, and listen to it. And if it comes back, here is something
All right.
I heard a teacher say. In India, when you go to a temple, there's a box over there that you put stuff in, money. Okay? Any religious place you go, there is a donation box you can put things in. Once I went to a place, it was in Los Angeles. It's called SRF, Self-Realization Fellowship. And when we were walking out, there was a box in which you can write all your prayers, all your needs. And you put it into that, and it seems they take it at the end of the day or the end of the week, and they pray for everyone. And I was like, whoa, this is such a cool thing. So in your own house, you can have a box too. Just take a shoe box, and all that you need, put it into your shoebox. And you can call it a God box, you can call it a universal box, whatever it is. Put your needs into that and trust, trust that your needs will be met, that you will be heard. You can
I
journal.
remember. I remember. All right. It popped back in there from what you just said. So when people, the law of attraction, We will not be heard until we allow other people to feel heard by us. And when we're not doing that and we're just yelling out, listen to me, we're attracting that back, so people aren't going to hear. Until we find validation in ourselves and we allow other people to feel heard by us, we will not be heard by them.
What you send out, you get back exponentially, because it's a domino effect. Think about a snow flake that starts tumbling. That can create an avalanche. Every huge tsunami wave that crashes on the shore started with a tiny ripple. And you get into the habit of listening, and you will know that you are heard. No one needs to convince you that. It's that domino effect.
Nice.
I love you so much, John.
You too, dear.
Thank you so much.